Hey guys, David here, and in this video I'm going to show you a very quick start to using Webinar Geo. Now this is a webinar platform that has really taken on GoToWebinar and Webinar Jam and is looking to position itself as a really easy to use, or comparatively easy to use. There's always a learning curve with these things. Simple approach, and there's lots of bells and whistles here, but you don't necessarily need to use them. It's also, what I really like about it is it's a real-time platform, or as close to real-time as possible. It's about 2 to 3 second delay versus what you might be experiencing if you're using Google Hangouts or YouTube Live, where there's a 30 to 60 second delay between when you are saying something and when your audience actually hears it. So let me show you a very quick jump start on getting a webinar set up here. So I'm just going to go ahead and click Set Up New Webinar, and it's going to give me a form here where I fill in some regular details. So, this is David's, we'll just call it David's awesome webinar. Okay, so let's spell it correctly. Webinar, there we go. And I can add some additional stuff here, like, we'll just call it some additional stuff, just so you see where this shows up later on. Let's center that, and maybe we'll make it a little bit larger. So let's make it like 28 points, or let's make it even bigger. 36 points. I don't know exactly how this is going to show up. Let's see if I can actually change. You can play around with color and stuff too. I'm not sure if this is going to change anything or not. Okay, so some additional stuff in red, and I'm going to set this for 1 hour from now, just so that you can see what it looks like in the future. Now, I can go ahead from here. I don't need to do anything else. What I am going to do is I'm going to add a promo and a thank you video. These are videos that I have recorded and put into place here already previously, so let's go ahead and add those. And these are videos that I have hosted over on YouTube, so let's take a look. Here's the two videos that I have on YouTube. One's a thank you video, or one's a welcome video, and one's a sort of confirmation video. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to go ahead and save the webinar. Now, from the back end, I can see, let's show you what this looks like. I can see the webinar right here. So this is my control panel as the presenter, and I have the ability to show myself, to do a whiteboard, or to do a screen share. And screen share is typically what I do. I might go through some slides on PowerPoint or Keynote or something like that. But those are the three options. So I can actually show my face, which is kind of cool. Now I'm gonna share the same exact thing, but I'm gonna do it in a private window, or incognito window here, so that you can see when a registrant comes to check this out. All right, here's the video. I didn't set it to automatically play, so let's actually go back and do that. I'm going to close this out. I'm going to go back in and edit this, and go back to that promo and thank you video, and I have the ability to go and change it to a promo autoplay and a thank you autoplay. I'll go ahead and update that, and now, I noticed as we were looking at that, by the way, that the text on this section, the registration section, it did change it to red, but it didn't enlarge it, and so I guess that there's only so much given space there. Now, I could also personalize the thank you page and personalize the web page where people are viewing it. So those are 3 different areas. But let's just say some additional stuff goes here. I made that up, and I'm now going to hit update, and let's preview that. Again, we'll go ahead and copy in an incognito window, or a private window as it's called here on Firefox. And we'll see now the autoplay. Let me turn this down so that you don't hear the video, but you can see the video is going to autoplay over here saying, hey, thanks for your interest in my awesome webinar. And this is just a generic video that I shot, which basically doesn't refer to the content of the webinar. It just says, hey, thanks for your interest in my webinar. Fill out the form below, and you'll get registered. We'll send you a confirmation email to your inbox with further instructions. And this is where some additional stuff goes here. Obviously, if I wanted to change the background here, let's go ahead and close that again. I can do things like change that background and lots of other things. So Here, tracking code. I can put in tracking code if I want to track with Google Analytics, if I want to track with Facebook retargeting, ad roll, perfect audience, any of those things. I have the ability to track all of that here, so I can follow up with people with ads, for example. Look and feel. I can change the look and feel of it. And in this case, I'm going to use, there are these standard templates. There's also an upsell, I think, to get premium templates. I'll show those to you. And they're pretty decent. I actually have ended up just using the standard templates instead because although these are nice looking, the standard templates do the job. And so I would recommend that you just skip the upsell on that. Okay, let's go back to the dashboard and let's look a little bit more at what's inside here. So tracking code, look and feel, the templates. I can control the chat. So if I want the chat to be public where people can see each other's comments, if I want it to be private, or if I want it to be off completely. And then if I want to allow people to ask me a question offline where they'll type something in and it'll get emailed to me and then I can email them back, that's an option as well. User registration, I have the ability to require additional things like phone number, address, city, state, country, zip code, that sort of thing. I have the ability to add payment if I wish. I can have them pay through Stripe or PayPal, but most of the time I do free webinars, but you do have the ability to receive payment for your webinars as well. The lead capture, you can link it to an autoresponder. In this case, there's a certain group of autoresponders that are currently available. Let's see if I can open this up in another tab so you can see. I have mine set up to connect with GetResponse. But the other options currently are Aweber, Infusionsoft, SendReach, Imnica Mail, MailChimp, iContact, GetResponse, we've already mentioned, SendLane, ActiveCampaign, and Entreport. So those are the options that exist, and what they've basically said is as there's more demand for other platforms, my main autoresponder is not on that list, but luckily I also have a GetResponse account. Invite participants, so you can actually invite certain people. You can invite presenters to come and join you. You can set up a sequence of reminder emails. So once somebody subscribes, there's a standard email here that you can basically says, thank you very much for registering for, and then it inserts the link of the webinar. This is taking place, and then it inserts the time. You can attend the webinar by clicking the link, and then there's a button right there. And I can change any of this. This is totally customizable. Now, in addition, I can add new ones to go out. As sort of a follow-up sequence, and have them go out at particular times in advance of the webinar. That's also a sort of standard stock thing that you can do here in your settings as well. I can't remember exactly where that is, but there's a whole follow-up sequence that you can do as well. Not finding it, but okay. Anyway, that's the point is it's there, it's available, and you have the ability to do that. So okay, so there's that, and then social networks, right? So one other thing that's really cool is I can connect directly to Facebook. It has connected my Facebook account. I've done this in the past, so I don't have to go through the process again. And then on the webinar itself, one additional option I have is to stream live to social networks when on air. So I can go ahead and click that, and I can insert a note here that says I'm on this webinar right now, but you can watch it here on Facebook. And then I can have the webinar broadcast live while I'm doing it here. I can also have it broadcast live on Facebook. And this has just been rolled out. I've played around with it, and it works beautifully on my my personal Facebook account. They have not yet rolled out the ability to do this with fan pages or with groups where you can actually lock down the content to people who are only members of the group. So that's coming. I also hear that they're going to be expanding this to Twitter embeds as well as YouTube Live embeds. So that's all really cool stuff. And then there's other things here like once you have a webinar recorded, you can set it up to do auto replays, so you can actually have people come and sign up for a webinar that's been recorded and watch it at their own convenience or watch it immediately. There's all sorts of different scenarios there. If I want to include a media element, like I want a button to pop up at a particular time, I can define that, the name of the button, so my cool offer, and I can choose where I want the button to show up, and then where I want it to come to. So maybe I'm trying to promote my DIY digital product, so that's going to go to the DIY digital page, and I can go ahead and save that, and then I can choose at a particular time in the webinar itself. Let's go over here. So this is my controls in the webinar. Let's reload this, and it may not actually show us that option. Yeah, okay, so here it says display, and I have the ability to display a media element. Let's make this a little smaller. So, oops, maybe a little bit bigger. Yeah, a media element, so my cool offer, and my cool offer will show up on the screen while people are watching that at the moment that I say I want it to be displayed. Then I can actually then turn it off. I have the ability also, let's get back over here, to create a survey, and I can do a survey. So if I want to ask people a question, how many of you have done this before, or how many people are struggling with, and list 3 different things, whatever it may be, I can do a survey, and then we can talk about that. So if I'm looking for some social proof from my audience, I sort of know what the answer is going to be, but I want them to admit or recognize that they have a certain characteristic themselves. I can put a survey out there, and then I can build on the fact that they've just acknowledged something. That's a really great sort of psychological angle in webinars. So those are a couple of other cool elements here. Finally, I think I've basically gone through everything. There, chat transcripts, so you can download those chat transcripts, and then there is, let me see, I have a Webinar Geo, can't remember where this is. It's, you know what? It's not called Webinar Geo, but they also have a desktop chat feature that I can open up, so that if I'm doing PowerPoint slides and I want to, have that shared full screen, but I also want to see the chat, I have the ability to share my PowerPoint slides and have the chat there on a sort of desktop hovering over the slides that I'm sharing, so I can see what the discussion is at the same time. So another cool element that they've added into this. And these guys just keep adding more and more stuff that I'm looking forward to seeing what's being rolled out next. As I play around with each new element, I'm finding, how am I going to be able to use this effectively as I'm doing webinars, and they keep pouring more money back into the system to improve upon it over and over again. And this thing is brand new. I mean, this is young. It came out in the late spring, so we're like, I don't know, 6 months into it or something, maybe not even. And I'm really impressed with where it's gotten to at this point, and seeing the trajectory, the plans that they have for the future. I'm really excited. So if you're interested in Webinar Geo and you got some questions about it, feel free to reach out to me. If you are interested in it, go ahead, and I will leave a link around here somewhere so that you can go and grab your own account of Webinar Geo. And thanks so much for taking time to take this tour with me, and enjoy Webinar Geo. I certainly do. Take care.